So you want to learn how to moonwalk like this in Dead by Daylight. You've come to the right place. Now of course, if you don't have a place to practice these moonwalks, then skip to this timestamp that you see on the screen and I'll show you exactly how. So first we're going to be learning this backwards moonwalk. I put the keys on the screen just so it's easy for you guys to see. So basically what you want to do, you're facing this way, W, D, S, A, and then like D, A, like you just need to practice this. Like make sure your character doesn't like turn all the way around like this, just like this. Once you can fluently sort of like turn your character around like this, you just hold W, right? So you're running, you do this 360 motion, then hold W. Just like practice this a few times to make sure like you can do that. And then as soon as you start holding W, just tap A and D, right? Like when you tap it, it's got to be like the same timing between each tap. So like this. So basically what this is doing, when you're moonwalking like this way, when you hold W, your character turns. You're just pressing the key to stop your character from turning like the whole way, right? So then like, in like a sort of slow motion, it's like this. And then like you hold W from this point. When your character's facing you, you hold W. And then like tap like A and D, right? So like this. A common mistake I see people doing is either tapping too slowly or too fast. So if I was to do this, like it works, but like eventually your character will turn and like you just won't get the full like length of the moonwalk, right? But if I do it too slow, like your character will just turn straight away because like you hold it too long, your character turns. So like your character turns and then like you have to reposition back. So a slow pace, just like it takes time to find the pacing, but eventually with enough time and practice, you will just have a perfect pace. The next moonwalk that we're gonna learn is like the moonwalk where your character is facing away from the camera, so like this. So basically the same thing applies for this one. You can either start like this, just hold S and then just tap A and D, but that's a little bit harder. So what I like to do is just like do the same 360 to get your character into like the momentum of it. So like this, right? So just like do this, W, D, S, A, and then like instead of finishing like this, you finish facing like this. And then you hold S instead of W this time, and then tap the same A and D, right? Just practice like going around and then like stopping like that. And just hold S and then tap A and D in the same pattern. Like that. If you are struggling with this one, I can suggest like moving your mouse with your character. Like, so when I'm turning like this, I'm like moving my mouse like around in a circle so your character has more sort of momentum. Like this, and then like this. So then next up, I think it's called like an Ayrun tech. It's exactly the same as moonwalking backwards like this. But like when you press A and D, you move your camera along with it, right? So if I'm pressing A, I move the camera left. If I'm pressing D, then I move the camera right. So when I moonwalk like this, as you can see, my camera moves with the character. So if you just practice this, and then eventually you can do it like this. Right? It does take a lot of practice, so don't like be frustrated if you don't get it on the first time. Turning with the moonwalk is pretty easy, but it does take a lot of practice. So when you're moonwalking, right, you want to go around the corner. So I'm going to use this door as an example. When I moonwalk in here, right, you're just going to moonwalk properly, right? And then if I want to turn right, I'd hold A for slightly longer so my character like turns around like this, right? So if I'm moonwalking, right, I'd hold A for longer so your character turns into the door. It does take a lot of practice. Just an additional thing you can do, obviously if you have a flashlight, it makes it a lot easier. So say I'm running like this, I can click and my character automatically faces that way. So you can obviously be running, click, and then you can just be straight into the moonwalk. Of course you've learned all of this now, but you're going to want a place to practice this moonwalking. There are 3 main ways I can suggest. Number 1, if you go to the main menu and click play, then click learn to play. Then you come over to this survivor tutorial, this first one. So yeah, once you're in here, you can just practice your moonwalks in this little field here. And it's pretty solid for, you know, practicing moonwalks, but it does give you a lot of space. So of course, once you get better at it, you won't have that much space to practice. The second thing I can suggest, go to play, custom game, go to survivor, invite your friend to go AFK as killer whilst you practice your moonwalks. Or if you have an alt account, you can just do the same thing, which is what I'm doing currently. But of course, not all of us have that privilege, so that brings me on to suggestion number 3. I've linked in the description this Steam training bot. Once you've added this bot, you can actually go ahead and just join the party and then just ready up, and the bot will go AFK for you. Of course, all credit goes to the owner, so go ahead and join their Discord in the description. And yeah, if this tutorial has been helpful for you, then please drop a like and subscribe. It will help out a lot. If you want me to make any other tutorials on anything else, then please let me know. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I'll reply to every single one. And yeah, peace out, guys.